Assalamu alaikum. I just published a very long article on Servus Halal's new mortgage, and I thought I would go through some of the highlights because the article is quite lengthy. And the best way to do that is to just look here at the beginning of the article under quick summary. Here are the highlights. The first is that this new product is a Shariah-compliant mortgage that uses a particular sale model called Murabaha lil-amiri bil-shira instead of a loan and then a sale, which is what you would find in a conventional mortgage. The differences are laid out in the article, so you can take a look for that detailed run through, and then also take a look at an article that was published on MuslimMoney.co just a couple of weeks ago on the model of Murabaha lil-amiri bil-shira and the development of that product over the 1970s into the product that you see today and being offered by Servus Halal. So that's what this is. And the question that a few people have been asking me is it really halal? I'm not somebody who certifies products as halal or not, compliant or not, but I can tell you that this product has been certified by the Canadian Islamic Finance Board, which is a group of scholars in Alberta who have been working with Servus and with the regulator to ensure that this product meets the standards of a standard Murabaha mortgage contract. This confirms that it meets those Sharia standards, but it does not necessarily mean that it's the best financial deal for you. And the article runs through a couple of questions that you might want to ask yourself before deciding to go with Servus Halal. Another question is whether or not this is cheaper than a conventional mortgage. And this is actually a little bit of a tricky question because Servus Halal is very unique. It's a 25-year fixed mortgage, and those are very, very, very rare in the Canadian market. This is slightly more expensive by about 1% per year than the fairest analog in the conventional market, which is a 10-year fixed mortgage. And so that premium, 1% per year, is actually quite sizable. I'm going to scroll down here and show you what that looks like. You know, an additional 1% over the life of a 25-year mortgage can actually be quite a bit. So take a look at this chart to see what that means. What does 1% over 25 years look like? For that premium, that 1% premium, you are getting Sharia compliance, and you are also getting an additional 15 years of rate certainty. And then the next question is whether or not this is better than renting. And that's a slightly more difficult question to answer. We run through all of the scenarios in the article itself, but to make a long story short, if you are planning to sell this house in under 10 years, then it's probably more financially advantageous to rent and invest the difference than to go with a 25-year fixed rate mortgage at this rate. You can jump to this decision framework here that will pull you down to the bottom of the article and give you a simple decision tree to help you work through the 3 questions that you need to answer before you land on going with the Servus Halal product. You can see here that there are a bunch of charts here. I have shared the real numbers from a community member who shared the pre-approval letter, and we went through the break fee, the cost to break early. I have here, scrolling all the way up here, the full 300-month breakdown in a Google spreadsheet that you can take a look at. The article is quite lengthy. I'd encourage you to read it if you are seriously considering this product. And if you have any questions for me, feel free to send them my way. Assalamu alaikum.